is our August the 7th Bowling Green Warren County Planning Commission meeting. And Matthew, if you would call the roll, please.
Commissioner Drain,
Here.
Commissioner Gay, Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you have the minutes from our July 17th meeting in your packet. Are there any questions? Hearing none, would call for a motion, please.
Move that they be approved.
Second.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you have the subdivision site development plans in your packets. Are there any questions? All right, hearing none. Mr. Peterson, any new business or old business? None. Mr. Moore, we are going to enter into our public hearing, and if you would,
Thank you. Thank you. I request that you please order that the record tonight include all of the statutory and regulatory provisions that govern your decisions, the commission's entire file for each application, and that's on tonight's docket, and the qualification for each of the staff witnesses. And finally, I'd request that you administer the oath to those witnesses.
everybody swear to the truth. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much. Our first item tonight is 2025-13 DP Lovers Lane Land and Farm LLC, care of Vince Berta and Tad Donnelly, have filed an application to amend the general development plan development conditions for 65.05 acres located at 136, 165, 200, 225, 234, and 266 Natchez Trace, 391 Swanee Trail, 356 Swanee Trail, and 275, 291, 315, 335, and 340 Newtown Drive, 115 Old Town Boulevard, 398 and 426 Lovers Lane, and other properties bounded by Interstate 65 and Lovers Lane. The property is subject to this application is owned PUD, Planned Unit Development. Ms. Hurt?
Thank you, Chair Warren. We had a pre-application meeting back in January for the Mount Victor Old Town development. The request before you tonight is to amend the development plan, including the concept plan for the PUD. First, I'll just show the aerial view so you can get your bearings and see all of the properties that are included in the request. So everything outlined there in red is what you're looking at this evening. As you mentioned, the current zoning is PUD, Planned Unit Development. And this is the current land use map. And the future land use map is mixed use residential. And we have some property photos that we can jump back to as needed. And then I'll dive into the summary of request on page 1 of your staff report, and the applicants are proposing to amend the development plan. This area contains roughly 65 acres, and the proposed amendment includes allowing an additional access point on Lovers Lane, increasing the number of permitted dwelling units from 325 to 400, and allowing fuel sales within the development. One thing I'll point out on the concept plan on this screen, the main change here is just to note this kind of gold sliver here. Currently, that is slated in the brown color. Part of this amendment would convert that over to mixed use, which would allow residential component. If we flip to the next screen, you'll see on the concept plan here, you can see they're showing potential multifamily use on that back half there, the added access point on Lovers Lane, and then again, part of the amendment is to allow fuel sales within the development that they're showing on this corner lot there. Just looking at the development history, I'll point out this is the 6th development plan amendment for this area. That might actually be like an all-time record with the Planning Commission for development plan amendments. But I think as properties become developed and we have less vacant properties, that's probably less likely that you would see another development plan amendment for this area. But with that, I really don't have a whole lot to add. In our review, we did find that the application complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process. We found the proposal to remain consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan, and we found the proposal to be generally compatible with the surrounding area. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Hurt. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Okay, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Is the applicant or the representative here, anything you'd like to add?
Mr. Chairman, Tad Pardue, 1010 College Street, swear to tell the truth.
Thank you, Ted.
I represent the applicants tonight. Their spokespeople are Vince Berta, Tad Donnelly. They're here in the event of any questions. I mean, Rachel pretty much summarized for you all the sort of the key changes that are proposed to the development plan. You'll see in the staff report, I think it's pages 3 through 5, it does a pretty good job in bold typeface of showing what the amendments are. There were some additional amendments that effectively were eliminating some old development plan conditions that either already have been complied with or are no longer necessary. But again, the three main ones, you have an increase in the number of dwelling units, you have the right-in, right-out additional access point, and then the allowable uses, including fuel sales. Other than that, I will be happy to answer any questions. As you can see in the staff report, the staff found the proposal to be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, met the compatibility requirements, and was in compliance with all 8 of the Lover's Lane overlay review policies, and was not out of compliance with any of those.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Pardue.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions for Ted? Okay. Thank you, Ted. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? Hearing none, Commissioners would call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed general development plan, docket number 2513 DP, based on the testimonies and documents presented in this public hearing. The proposed general development plan amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliances with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Further, I find that there has been major change of economic, physical, and social nature within the area of the property in question. I request the findings of facts and recommendation include a summary of the evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved, and it's a planning commission final action. No additional items are needed. Our next item tonight is 2025-14 DP, Build to Suit, LLC, care of Matthew Tabor, has filed an application to amend the general development plan conditions for 33.53 acres for properties located along Veterans Memorial Boulevard, Hickory Street, Prospector Court, and Cornerstone Avenue. The property subject to this application is on RM4, multifamily residential, and F floodplain. And Ms. Hurt again.
Thank you, Chair Warren. Before we get started, I'd like to point out that you should have a revised set of development plan conditions at your seat, along with a few supplemental handouts that the applicant provided. Those are just there for your reference. I'll touch on the development plan condition changes since you received your packet, and then the applicant may want to get up here in just a minute and explain the other handouts at your seat. As you mentioned, the property before you this evening is subject to a development plan amendment. We met with the applicant for a pre-application meeting back in June. The main purpose of this application is to increase the permitted number of units from 600 to 648 for a total of 48 additional units. The applicant is also proposing to remove the requirement that the development incorporate a pool and plans to incorporate the clubhouse into one of the residential buildings instead of a standalone clubhouse. So this is the most recent concept plan that was provided by the applicant. And you can see the current aerial view for the property, everything in red there. And then, as you mentioned, the property is zoned RM4 multifamily. There is a small area on the west side that's located in the floodplain. And this is the current land use map. The future land use map is high-density residential and commercial. And we have some photos of the existing development and the surrounding area and properties here. And then I'll leave the concept plan up. I will point out the changes to your development plan conditions since you received your packet. The first change is going to be in number 7. And on page 4 of your staff report, number 7 previously included potential residential amenities that the development may incorporate. But the revised language now requires those things instead of just saying that they might include X, Y, or Z. So I'll read Development Plan Condition 7, just so that everyone is on the same page. So it currently states that the large apartment complex will include a clubhouse area located on the lower floor of one of the apartment buildings and other amenities including a playground, sand volleyball, dog park, pickleball court, and pavilion area as generally shown on the concept plan. All residential structures west of Hickory Street shall be 3 stories in height, exclusive of basement garages and/or storage areas. So that is the revision on number 7. Then number 12, disregard what's in your revisions, and I'm going to direct you back to the staff report. And the applicant will probably need to get up here and agree to this in just a minute, but I did speak with him before we started the meeting. And number 12, as written in your staff report, would be the same with the exception that the language that's struck through would actually be added back in. The easiest way to explain this development plan condition is that if we go back to, I'll just jump back to the aerial view, there's basically 2 portions of the development. We have the side on the southeast side of Hickory Street, and the way that's been developed, we have multiple lots with individual buildings compared to the northwest side of Hickory Street is intended to be one large complex on one large lot. And so development plan condition 12 basically explains architectural requirements for the southeast side of Hickory Street so that those buildings would be complementary as far as their architectural style and colors, to where basically if you're driving through the development, you don't know that there are property lines unless you're looking at a map. So by adding the language that was proposed to be removed, that still keeps that requirement in play for that portion of the development. And then the applicant is also proposing to add the language at the end of number 12, basically confirming that everything on the northwest side of Hickory Street will be developed independently of the east side of Hickory Street, but also with complementary color schemes. So those are the main changes that I wanted to point out since your packets went out. But looking back on page 1, our recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion. We did find that the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process. We found that it remains consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan and found the proposal to be generally compatible with the surrounding area. And then those items for your consideration, that second bullet point there, those have been resolved with the amendments that were submitted.
So Rachel, what
most
does
recently.
complementary mean
You
on
may
number
want
12?
You may want the applicant to address that, but it's my understanding that if we go back to the concept, it's their intent that the buildings within this portion of the development would all be complementary, basically the same style, and I'll let them speak to that.
So, Rachel, let me ask you this. So, and if I remember correctly, I think this came, 6-7 years ago?
It was 2019.
2019,
Yeah.
6 years ago. Was this not to be one lot, one owner, one person, And now do I understand that we're now maybe cutting it up where it would be multiple owners?
No, the intent all along was that on the southeast side of Hickory, we would have multiple owners, and that, I think this was one of the first developments that came before you all where there was a proposal to have multiple owners for a multifamily development, which is why number 12 is so specific on the number of brick colors and trim colors and roof colors, and I believe that was the intent of why number 12 has existed in that form.
So was the intent of the pool for the whole 600 units? I don't think so. No.
No, it was
So-
only ever intended for what's shown on the aerial is the vacant area on the north side of Hickory. There was a pool and a clubhouse proposed for that portion. But it hasn't developed since 2019.
Sure. So it still stays as a one owner.
Right. Now, I don't know that that's actually,
And let's
let's see.
did we not, when it was approved, wasn't it approved as like 24 plexes
On the north side, yes.
on the undeveloped side?
Right.
Okay. So I guess I do not remember, or I'm wrong. I thought on that side that we said that complex needed to be uniformed.
Yeah.
That the buildings within that side would be uniform, like on that side.
Yes.
Not necessarily that they would match on the south side of Hickory.
But they wouldn't have multiple colors. And maybe I'm not remembering correctly. I thought we did this as, that would be one complex,
Uniform.
uniformed.
Well, it may be that number 12 needs to just be tweaked to
Okay.
reflect that, because
Okay,
prior to this amendment that's before you this evening, it did say this development plan condition applies to the entire development, period. But now I think that, and I'll let the applicant speak to this, it's my understanding that they would like to develop the two halves, basically what's on one side of Hickory Street and the other, independently, but that each half would still be uniform to itself.
okay.
And I don't know how we put that in writing.
Yeah.
It looks like, has the other side, has it been completely developed? Has.
I believe so,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. And if I remember correctly, that is a mixture of 4, 6, and 8 plexes.
Correct.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. Or that's what they had the ability to do.
Yeah, that was also
Yeah.
in one of the conditions. And then, of course, we had some photos of some of those existing buildings earlier on here. But you're right, it was, from the original proposal, it was intended that the larger buildings would be on the north side of Hickory.
Okay.
You all you refer to north and south of Hickory, and the DPC says the east and west. So decide. which
Minor
one you want.
detail.
Depends on where you're standing, Am.
Yeah.
Well, we can go back to the map, but I think technically it would be northwest and southeast.
So we're saying uniform to each east or west, but complementary to both, is what you're saying? They'll each look individual, but they'll both complement each other? Is that what we're saying?
I'll let the applicant speak to that. But it's my understanding, if you use Hickory Street as the dividing line, that one side would be uniform and the other side would be uniform, but they wouldn't be the same because one side has 24-plex buildings and the other does not.
Okay.
So my only other question would be, just make sure that I understand correctly. On the, let's call it the developed and undeveloped side.
Okay.
On the developed side, has it been developed in accordance with the DPCs that are in place?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay.
I have not
That's all right.
inspected every property
Yeah, that's
personally.
okay, but to your knowledge-
But just in driving through that area, the
Yeah.
buildings are uniform
Okay.
and seem to meet what's currently in play.
Very good. All right, thank you.
Yes, sir?
Thank you, Rachel. All right, Commissioners, any other questions for staff? Ms. Hurd?
Chair Warren, I have a couple of questions. Rachel, I noticed that the Greenway is in close proximity to the Russell Sims Aquatic Center, the proposed Greenway. Do you know if there's been discussions with the Parks and Recreation Department related to the Greenway connection, since it is in close proximity to Belgrade Parks and Rec?
Well, I don't know. You may ask the applicant.
I can answer that.
Okay,
So the developer has worked with the city, and in fact, the Greenway will come across Veterans there. There'll be a traffic light, and the Greenway will actually come through this property as well, and then continue on through the existing neighborhood behind, down Hickory Street. So it will have direct Greenway connections and in fact connect to all of the rest of the Greenway on the other side of Veterans.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Starks. Commissioners, any other questions for staff? Mr. Moore?
I'd like to, if I could, please. Rachel, are we going to work off of the staff report number 12 in crafting?
I think that's probably a good place to start.
Okay.
It's in that form, that is I guess the least amount of changes that we would have if we just use that as a starting point.
And we've already discussed the fact that in the sentence that begins, in addition, comma, that we are no longer going to strike the portions, the rest of that sentence, which says the subject properties shall have uniform plans.
Correct.
That goes back in,
Yes,
all the way through to the period.
yes,
And then we've stricken finally because that isn't finally. So the next sentence will read, the subject properties will have uniform signage, no change to that. And then the next sentence says the development plan condition applies to the entire development, and that's stricken.
yes.
And in its place, we're going to put the north or east side of Hickory Street, right?
It'd be either the east or southeast side.
My compass isn't working, but you all decide what that should say. And
Southeast is probably the
what'd you say?
southeast.
All right.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
we'll say the development plan condition applies to the southeast side of Hickory Street.
Yes,
And that refers to the one that preceded it in the paragraph.
yes,
And then the next sentence says, the northwest side of Hickory Street shall be developed independently of the southeast
Southeast, yeah.
side of Hickory Street, but with complementary color schemes. Is that
yes.
sufficient?
That's my understanding of what I discussed with the applicant before the meeting.
And it's already built out, so.
The
right?
southeast side,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So Rachel, this wasn't two different parcels, correct? This is all one parcel, both the north and south, east and west parcel?
Well, the undeveloped area on the aerial is an independent parcel.
So,
But
okay,
then
okay.
on the other
Yeah,
side of
they're-
Hickory,
they're
those have already
individual.
been subdivided.
I'm trying to wrap my head around why we did this all as one, under all the same DPCs, if it was two different parcels.
Well, before the zone change, the street didn't go through.
Okay, but
So the street-
but when we did the zone change, was it two different parcels?
It was one big parcel,
Okay.
but then this property line was always there.
Okay.
There was always this like
So it was
skinny
one- It was
piece.
one parcel, and then we platted off the.
The
four
road,
places,
yeah,
six-
the road was constructed and then
Okay.
well, and the additional internal streets, those were all built and then
Okay.
subdivided. But when we looked at it back in 2019, it was all one with the exception of And I can't remember if we rezoned that separate or not. That'll be in the development history on
I don't
page
think,
one.
I think we did it all at once.
It was all at once, but
I thought we did the larger parcel as a separate deal.
now the commercial parcels were
No, not the
included
commercial,
at the
no,
same time, and those were separate.
I'm talking about the residential.
Yeah, the residential's always been just all one set of
Okay.
development plan conditions.
Okay,
Did you get your answer, Mr. Vogler?
kind of. It's not Rachel's fault, it's my fault.
No, good
No,
question.
but yes, I mean, she's right. I'm just trying to think back to why we did it that way. And, I mean, it's a little confusing, but that's okay.
Well, tonight's the time to clarify anything or clear up any uncertainties.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions for Ms. Hurt, staff? Thank you. Is the applicant here and would like, anything you'd like to add? Yes, sir, if you come to the microphone, please.
Matthew Tabor, 933 Three Wood Circle.
All right, Mr. Tabor, swear to tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right. You've heard the questions from the commissioners. I
Yes.
think we have all your, if you want to show them, that's fine. I think we have, so you've heard the questions regarding the color scheme,
Yes.
everything,
So the
anything?
goal was to make each side look independent of each other, but still keep the same consistency as in roof lines, which every building in there has a hip roof. As far as materials, I think in our DCP, whatever, DPC, it's, they've got requirements for masonry material and whatnot, but so this side does look similar, and one of the things we're trying to do is we're just adding two 24-plexes, but putting the office inside one of the buildings. So before we had like a 6,000 square foot clubhouse in our first plan, we upped that to like 7,000, and this is almost 9,000 feet. Has office space, mail room for people's packages, room for staff, room for maintenance, and workout center inside. So we basically incorporated the clubhouse into one of the buildings. All the buildings look like this, so they're all the same. They're all 24 plexes. The only different building in there would be this one that houses the office, and there's one that's a little smaller that's 8 units, and it's just because these 8 units are taken up with office space, staff, and workout center, conference room, and that kind of thing. So does that clear anything up, or do you guys have any questions about that?
So in lieu of the separate structure for the clubhouse, you've incorporated it into one of the ground floor of one of the other
Yes, so
structures?
one of the reasons this hasn't been developed by us or any of the 27 other developers that have looked at it is this is a more economically challenged area than other parts of town. And the clubhouse ended up coming out to be like almost as much as one of the buildings by the time we added a lot of stuff. And so we were thinking like, how can we make this feasible? So for, I guess, for the last 6 years, we just don't have enough unit count, which brings me to that map. When you look at that, you see a lot of green. So we're allowed 85% max lot coverage. The ordinance, for P&Z is 85%. If you look up on the top right-hand corner, we're at 55% lot coverage with buildings, sidewalks, and pavement. So we're way under that 85% mark. So by adding the buildings, we're not taking away from anything. In fact, we have as much or more than almost all the other apartment complexes in town. We're talking about the population of Bowling Green doubling in the next 25 years. So it's going to be sad to see this big tract of land just sit there and not be developed if we can't get more units on it. And we're 30% under the maximum lot coverage. And that includes the garages that you see on here, which are, you know, an amenity. We did take out the pool, which part of that is, this is the most densely populated half-mile, mile, and 2-mile radius in all of Bowling Green, Kentucky. This is one of the only, I think it's the second biggest apartment complex will be. It's one of the only ones that backs up to all residential around it. And you saw the other side of the development, the southwest, east, whatever side of that. There are no amenities with those 8 plexes. So my daughter fell in the pool at like 1.5 years old, which is about the time we were going through all this. Could have easily, I mean, it was just a miracle that she's alive. And ever since then, I've been really reluctant to put a pool in anywhere. We actually tore our pool out and redid the safety covers at home. But that's one of the reasons that I want to get that amenity out. And then we added multiple amenities. I mean, we've got a pickleball court, a children's playground, a pavilion, a sand volleyball court, a dog park, a workout center. So we've added a ton of amenities to make up for that. The state allows, it's like a 45 by 20 pool. That's not going to serve us anyway. And then we were talking about the green space trail that's already going through the neighborhood. We're a half mile from the water park, from the biggest pool in Warren County. If somebody's just dying to have a pool, but really well-appointed amenities, and that's the reason for taking that out is like, I'll name some apartments, the Drake, Chandler Park, the Southern, Heartland Apartments, those have pools. They're not, Heartland surrounded by a golf course. You know, the Drake has an interstate on one side, you know, one residential house, and it's acres and acres before you're up against residential. But this is so close that it would be real easily for someone to come out of the most densely populated neighborhood in Bowling Green, Warren County, and just walk into the development and a kid fall in the pool at night. So that's a lot of the reasoning behind taking out that amenity. And those are the only 2 things we're trying to change.
All right,
And we, yeah.
all right, thank you.
What amenities did we have in the original one?
Only a pool.
Only a pool.
And so we took out the pool, and this is, you guys have this?
We have it.
Yeah, so with playground, these are just examples from another apartment complex, someone that we talked to that has 8,000 units, kind of gave us some ideas on what they see that are used the most in their complexes. They're in North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and New York. But they just said, you know, a workout center is a must, children's playground. They said the dog parks, like everyone has dogs now. I know you're a big dog person, but everyone loves dogs, so dog park and pickleball was really taken off. So I tried to think of something that could add to, you know, getting kids active or people active. And the sand volleyball court, that was not required the first time, but we did have that on our plan the first time.
All right, thank you, Mr. Tabor. Any other questions for Mr. Tabor?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
What will the tenants, so I would think that a clubhouse and a pool would go hand in hand. So really, the clubhouse being gone away, since the pool is gone, what will the tenants do in this office/clubhouse other than a workout? Like, what will that offer them, the tenants there?
Well, that is an office, so it's the same thing. If you walk into that, it's the same thing as a clubhouse. I mean, there isn't
Is there
really.
going to be an area in there where the tenants can reserve it and have birthday parties, have things like, I mean, meetings if they want to reserve?
Yes, I mean, we plan on putting in a conference room. We got 9,000 square feet, so mail room, that's a thing now because people don't leave packages out. So it's the same thing as a clubhouse, only quite a bit bigger. Workout room, yoga room. I think John Williams is our architect, and he designed the buildings for basically the whole area. And we've already got the plans for that. He has not designed this yet, but yeah, we plan on filling up the 9,000 feet. And we can't put another unit in it because we're going for 336, which is, you know, but what we have there. So it won't be living areas, but it'll all be tenant use or office use or staff use, maintenance use.
So why the multiple colors? I mean, this is a 336 unit complex. Why is the goal not to go for a uniform look between?
It will all be uniform. All the buildings will be
But, I mean,
uniform.
but
The
why-
reason was because those two properties were, all on one, whenever, what is it, the south and north, or what did we decide it was? Northwest and southeast sides were all on one, what do you call it? The last time we came
But
through.
are you okay with all the buildings being the same color?
I want them all to be the same color. Yeah, and then the idea in that number 12, Rachel stopped me on my way in, what we were talking about is, the idea is to make this side look different from this side. This side is everything is tan and like a light brown color brick. And then,
So all the buildings will be uniformed?
yes, sir.
All be uniform? That's,
Only on one side of the road.
Only on the
yeah,
undeveloped
that's
side.
all we're really talking about tonight, is that side of the road.
Yeah, it's just confusing because they were done at the same time. And I think, Dad, what was the engineers here? What was the reason we did that all at once? Just because we rezoned the whole property at the same time? Yeah, so we just went for one zoning hearing, and that's why it all got bundled together.
Let me ask you this, if we're here to talk about changing DPCs, would you be open to changing?
Yeah.
Up here we have 75%, meaning you can have 25% vinyl. I would like to take the vinyl out and only have it in the soffits and down and area.
Part of the problem with that is this is like an economically challenged area, like I said, and I mean, that's 25%, but I plan on using board and batten, which is a lot higher end vinyl, but we're not going to get the same rents that someone out on Lover's Lane is going to get. We're getting $950 for a 2-bedroom on the other side, where those are, I think they're like, Vince, what are y'all getting for a 2-bedroom?
Well, I think what,
Yeah,
I think what Mr.
Yeah, they're getting about $350
I think what Mr.
more
Volker's
bucks.
talking about is what we've seen with the vinyl. If you would agree, if you're saying that you're going to put hardy board or modern masonry materials, would you agree to that?
We just want to say no vinyl.
I would like to use an upgraded vinyl on that, just because we have vinyl on the other side, and it's like
But this is going to be uniform, so we're not worried about the other side tonight.
No, I'm not, but cost, it's a cost thing. Like I said, they're getting $350 more on Lover's Lane than we're getting here on a 2-bedroom.
we're
So
not-
also
talking about
giving you-
Lover-
We're also giving you 36 more units.
Yeah, we're not talking about
so
Lover's Lane,
There's
we're
got to
talking
be some
about,
give and take here. 48 more units, excuse me.
It really, multiply 350 times 336, we're just not getting the same. It's not the same area, it's not the same.
well, we understand that,
If that's
but-
what it takes to get it passed, I will. You're talking about one story at the top with board and batten, which is an upgraded product. It's
But that's
not,
not, Tim, that's not a vinyl, is it?
What's that?
they
board and
make a
batten.
board and batten.
They make a board and batten style vinyl.
Style.
You can
Okay,
get it in,
style.
you can
So
get it in
it's
a.
not true board and batten.
Yeah, it's what we use on basically all the houses we built this year. We've used the same product, the
Yeah,
board and
so
batten and the
it's a
shade.
vinyl product that mimics board and batten.
Okay.
You can't and you can adhere to this, if you're on the ground level and you're looking up at it 2 stories up, you can't tell any difference that it's not party board. Would you agree with that?
To some extent, the biggest upside to it is, and I haven't used it to the extent he's talking about, it's not supposed to give the signature sagging that you see with traditional plank siding, vinyl siding. Because of the lines look different, you don't just look at it and immediately say, aha, that's vinyl. Especially in the
So
summer.
how do we put it in here that it doesn't leave tonight and just put up vinyl?
Well, I think we add it to the DPC because that's what he's planning to use, and we could specify the vinyl, let's call it the vinyl finish or the vinyl style, and then you would have that locked in. And I don't think, you correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Tabor, you don't have any objection to that.
No, I have no objection to that. It's just putting Hardy board up adds, it's more than double the cost for us. And
We could lock it in to board and batten style vinyl. in the
And
D- in
shake on the
DPCs.
eave, I think on some of the eaves.
Yeah,
some
and I
of the-
will add this, in his defense, some of those vinyl shakes are actually pretty pricey. There are some really good vinyl shakes.
It's
if-
about double what regular vinyl is.
Yeah.
So,
And I've used that before, and there are a few good applications for it.
and in the eaves, some shake vinyl, which is also, I mean, it's a
Where
good
is the
product.
board and batten going?
On,
Right there?
yeah, your third level. This, he just took this down
So
because it
just your
was a
third level.
office. Yeah, I think it's, I don't have the plans with me, but it's basically third level across.
Well, I
Mr.
guess
Tabor,
it's-
would you say that this rendering is an accurate depiction of your intent for the finishes?
Yeah, it's only a whiter color, like more white. This
But-
was just what John
But
had.
brick where it shows brick and.
It's brick, yes.
It's a brick
Yeah.
first two floors.
Yeah, almost all the second floor. There's some spaces where it's not, but it's mainly.
The biggest savings is your masons, you know this, your masons are gonna get more expensive the higher you get, right?
Sure.
And so that upper floor becomes significantly less expensive because you don't have masons throwing bricks all the way up to a third story.
And my company does all the siding installation and
Aha,
stuff. So
okay, so-
it's just advantageous for me. And, I mean, we also install hardy board, but it's a ton more. I mean, it's something you would see like, on Lover's Lane. I mean, they use hardy board because they're getting 40% more rent than we are in this area, so.
Okay.
But like I said, from the first floor, you cannot tell that it's, that it would be.
Okay.
And so Rachel, we have taken out the line, the subject property shall have uniform plans and consistent and/or accompanying roof lines and architectural details.
That's back in,
That's back in?
yes.
Okay, sorry.
So Hamp, I think one of the things we do want to incorporate here, and we're going to need your assistance with this, is instead of just a general vinyl signature, we're looking for a more explicit board and batten vinyl.
And shake,
Yeah.
which
so-
is the same
Yeah,
thing.
so it would be
It's
board and batten, let's call it in the vinyl areas other than the gables, and the gables would be shakes. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, yes, yeah.
So that would look to go to DPC number 3.
Okay.
And if you'll flip, you all have this paper. So turn to number 3. And Mr. Tabor, listen carefully because I'm going to ask you to either agree or disagree with this. So number 3 will now read, all exterior facades of principal structures located on the property will be constructed of at least 75% glass, stone, brick, ephes, or similar material, or other cementitious or modern masonry materials, and then board and batten or shake vinyl products.
You agree with that, Mr. Tabor?
Yes,
Okay.
That would be lumped into the 75%,
Yes.
but I think they're requesting.
Yeah,
I think they're requesting that the
That is-
balance of that 75%, if it's going to be.
That is
the
exactly
balance of
correct.
that,
That is
if
exactly
it's
correct.
final, it would be that product,
That's correct.
not that it would be included in the 75%.
that is correct. It's in the balance.
yeah, remaining 25%, so Ben.
Matthew, you on board?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, not Matthew Tabor.
Matt Owen, sorry.
So Matt, let me ask you this. Reading the amenities that you're adding, would you be agreeable to put on for the Okay, it doesn't say anything about pickleball, does it?
Yes.
Such as playgrounds?
It does.
Oh, I gotta go to a revision.
It's in the
Sorry.
revision.
No worries.
Would you be agreeable to put multiple, like 3 pickleball courts?
I don't think that's needed. I mean, you go around in the
You got
apartment
you got
complexes.
336 units, multiple people. You're taking a pool out, which could house 40, 50 people at a time, and you're gonna put 1 pickleball court.
Well, I've got a sand volleyball court, got a dog park, playground.
I'm
and
telling
grilling
you
station.
what I would like to see is, I think by taking that pool out, you really limit, it's a lot of units.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when you called me the other day, it's a lot of units. And for that, I just don't think for adults, 1 pickleball court is enough to satisfy.
One of the reasons we were hesitant about a pickleball court is I told you we consulted with a big company, and they said that the problem with pickleball courts is you get people from outside the community coming in. Right now in Bowling Green, there's a shortage of pickleball courts. I found this out recently that they are, they have, some guy just started, Paul Campbell, a place in there.
But that's not a reason not to do them. I mean, that'll be the job of the manager of the complex, is to make sure the tenants are using the amenities.
And the sound of the pickleball it's deafening, and they get a lot of complaints about that at these amenities. I mean, I think 2 would be reasonable, but I mean, 3, you just start inviting people from outside the complex to go, hey, there's no pickleball court here at the water park, go down a half mile to Keystone Commons. But he said that's been one of their main complaints. In fact, Thad was on the call with me, he advised us not to do pickleball. But I wanted to get another amenity in there. So, I mean, I think 2 would be reasonable, but I think 3, you start attracting people, and 2, the sound. He said that that's their biggest complaint is the apartments that are around that, they just hear that sound all night.
Well, is a pool absolutely a no? I mean, I understand what you've gone through, I can't imagine, but is a pool a no? I mean,
It is for me. There are 3 apartment complexes in town right now that we identified that the pools are shut down. They're completely down. They're green, they have covers on them, they're drained, and no one's making them go back around. What were those 3?
The one over by Western, what is that, the 4-story that's got,
Thad, we need to come on the microphone.
But for me, it's a no.
What are the 3 tabs?
Yes, sir. If you'd state your name and address, please.
Thad Lucas, 555 Dunbarton Avenue, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Thank you, Thad. Just swear to tell the truth.
I swear to tell the truth, yeah. The one that I personally saw that we went over and looked at, they were having trouble with it leaking. They were having to redo the whole pool, and my son's going around, he's in college trying to find an apartment. And he said 3 of the ones he went to, told him the pools are out. One of them was the one across from Western, I can't think of the name of it. The Registry, yeah, their pool was out.
The one on Cemetery Road. Edge, I don't know what it's called.
I don't
You
remember.
lived there in college.
Oh, I lived over on Fairview Avenue.
Yeah, that one.
Is that one out too?
Yeah.
And then there was
call that
one over by, Kroger that was down.
They're out because the owners had closed them down, or there's an issue with them and they're fixing.
There's an issue with them, but when I talked to the maintenance guy, one of the maintenance guys, the one over at Western, they were pretty much slow walking ever fixing it because they've just had so many issues with the pool. I think it's really, really small too for what they've got, so,
Yeah,
anyway.
the max we're allowed to build is like 45 by 20. I mean, it's not going to service 300
Well,
people.
1,500 square feet is what the state looks at as for your max intro pool, I guess. When you go bigger than that,
You
the
can go
pools
big- you can
become,
go
you can go
bigger.
bigger, but they
Yeah.
become $500,000 pools at
And
that
you're
point, so.
on Lover's Lane, yeah. If I was on Lover's Lane, I'd put a big pool in. I'd put a huge one, but this area, and 2, we're less than a half-mile walk on the Greenway walk to the water park, the biggest pool in Warren County, so. Yeah, and if tennis would make a difference as a pickleball, I mean, I'd think 2 would be.
They did say tennis, they did tell us tennis courts were not as annoying the sound. Apparently the pickleball make some kind of, it was just a complaint that the consultant was telling us, so. But they had some tennis courts were not as
It
intrusive.
was all the rage.
So would you put?
Pickleball's
so
the
would
rage.
you-
Consider
So would you
tennis
put,
court and pickleball?
yeah, would you put 2 tennis courts and a pickleball in?
I mean, I think 2 courts would probably be enough. I think, yeah, I'd do 2 pickleball or a pickleball and a tennis, but I think pickleball is what's getting played right now. I think that's even though it's a little bit annoying, but I think 2 pickleball courts and a dog park and a children's playground and a sand volleyball court and a,
Do we have a dimension on the dog park and pavilion?
is it that, yeah, we do. It's on,
I drew one on there, but there's a consultant that we would get to that would tell us how to size that.
and it's just a fenced-in area.
Yeah, and then we've got, I forgot what we did on the,
This isn't to scale, but this was the, pavilion John Williams came up with, but it was, I think it was 28 by, it's on the plan. It's whatever that is on the plan.
It's on
You don't
what,
need to-
it's on what plan?
It's on
It's
this.
on this plan. I just don't have the specific image. It's
Is
the
it
brown
to-
in the
Is
middle.
it to scale?
Yes, it is to scale. I
What-
think it's a 40 by 40 maybe is what I drew, or.
I think
40
it
by
is
50.
40 by 40, yeah.
Yeah.
So they
But
told
what we
me,
do is we go to the architect, and the architect will give us a specific
Understand.
design.
so
based on the
1,600
use.
square foot pavilion, it's bigger than an entry-level house. I mean, we're building 1,400 square foot houses, this is 1,600 square foot pavilion, 2 grilling stations.
Well, I mean, I'm
That's
sure
not
that
very
there'll be
big.
hours posted as far as how long, the time the pickleball court closes. You know, like all of them around here close about 10 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
Will you have lights?
Just lights from the buildings that stay on.
So no lights for the
Yeah.
pickleball court?
No, I'm not gonna no, that encourages people to come out at, 10 and 12, 11 o'clock at night. I mean, it stays light in the summer till 9 o'clock here, so. But there will be, the place is lit and there's street lights along the street. And that actually, the elevation, the street's about 12 feet above that. So it's pretty lit over there. If you ever go over at night, you can see in that field now. And that's without any buildings in there, which will all have lights, so you'll be able to see.
I mean,
So did I hear you say that you would agree to a pickleball court and a tennis court?
I would, yeah, but I think pickleball is probably more utilized. I see a lot of courts around town, they're converting to pickleball.
So 2 pickleball.
I think 2 pickleball courts is sufficient.
Matt, I would like to see lights with the pickleball. And, I mean, you can put them on a timer where they shut off. I mean, it's something the manager can control. My concern, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of getting rid of the pool. I'll be honest with you. But if that's the route that everybody else wants to go, I just think you have to, I mean, that's a lot of units, 336 units.
And I think these are a lot of amenities. I mean, I could name some apartment places around town that are almost as big that don't have near the amenities that we're offering here.
Well, I mean, they're not here tonight, so.
They've already been passed.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so there's no use talking about those.
Yeah.
I mean, does it make it right? I mean, as we do, I mean, in my opinion, is what we've tried to do over the last few years is new stuff that's coming. We try, I mean, I understand what you're saying about, but I want people on that side of town to have amenities, to have a great place to live.
So the place that just went, Vince and Tad's place, they've got a pool and a workout room. That's it. And they've got, how many more units just got approved tonight? I'm just trying to put it in perspective. They've got 288 and they just added another. So they're almost as big as this. They've only got a pool and a workout room. This has pickleball court, sand volleyball court, playground, dog park, pavilion, which they may have a pavilion too, but I don't think they have a 1,600 square foot pavilion.
I don't know.
But I mean, that just got approved right 10 minutes ago.
I get what you're saying, but if you're gonna have these amenities, you need to have them furnished properly, and I don't think lights is outside of the realm.
I don't think it is either. I'll agree to put lights. I mean, I could put lights on the buildings that would shine down
I
on
know
them.
it stays
No,
light
I
now.
think she's talking about having lights dedicated for the court. I mean, lights on the building shining down.
Yeah, that's fine if that's what it takes.
So in DPC number 7, we'll add two lighted pickleball courts.
Okay.
Sure.
Are we clear enough on what number 12 says?
Would you reread that, Ham, please?
Is that a check?
I'd rather you just tell it to me in simple form. Is it one complex that looks identical throughout?
Correct.
Okay.
The last phrase will say, but with uniform building and color schemes.
One color scheme.
Well, a single,
The only reason I say that, Hamp, is because of what's across the street, is there can be multiple color schemes.
But they're all built and they all are one color scheme.
Okay.
They're all
But
finished.
in the DPC, if I remember, there could have been.
There could have been, yeah. The idea was to kind of sprinkle them in, like to look like Seaside in Florida was the original plan, and that's what we went with. But then once we started building in there, everybody wanted the same, so that's how we did it. But this side, yeah, for sure. I definitely want all these buildings to look the same. I want it to be a uniform apartment complex. So we have
One owner.
one owner, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a single owner in the DPCs currently? We need to
Then we
stipulate.
need to add that.
Yeah, we need to
Or
stipulate.
one ownership group, yeah, whatever, yeah. That's
One
that.
owner, one management.
That's the intent. That's why I'm bringing it as opposed to the whole group.
Well, are we clear on what the decision has been made on these changes? Mr. Taylor, are you okay with it?
Yes, sir.
So Hemp, do we add a separate DPC for the ownership, or is that a part of one of the existing DPCs? And I don't really care as long as we got it covered.
It's not in there.
Would you even be able to allow to sell them off individually if it was not on one track? I mean, I don't know how you would do it.
And I'm just saying this, stops you from coming back and then replatting it just cleans it up right now.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't intend
But
to.
that's what it does.
Yeah.
It's just another DPC that you would have to go around.
Okay, gotcha. That's fine. That's the intent, anyway.
so we'll add a new DPC 15, which will say the development on the northwest side of Hickory Street shall be under single ownership and management.
Correct.
Correct.
And you add it, yeah, okay.
I didn't,
No, you're good, you're good.
All right. Commissioners, any other questions for Mr. Tabor? And he's agreed to all the development plan conditions. Thank you, Mr. Tabor, for
Yep.
being here tonight.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? Okay. Yes, sir. Your name and address, please, sir.
John Schuler, 279 Carter Sims Road, Bowling Green.
Yes, sir. Mr. Schuler?
Schuler,
Yes, sir. You swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Yes, sir. And your question?
It wasn't really a question, I just wanted to come and voice my support for this project. I know Mr. Tabor now, I'm a transplant from another part of the country, and when we moved here, we were renting, and it's really nice to hear about and see potential, the amenities that he's brought forth to you guys tonight. When we moved here, we were renting, and they didn't really have much where we were at. I'm not going to say where it was or anything, but I look forward to this, and I think anywhere that you could provide affordable housing, especially in a great area like Bowling Green, I wanted to come out and say that I support that. And as a member of the building community in Bowling Green, I think I speak fairly confident for all the trades out there that anything we could do to try to help keep us going out there right now, we're kind of hurting for work. So that's all I had.
Thank you, Mr. Schuler. Yes. Anybody else tonight? Commissioners, you've heard the testimony tonight. Would call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed general development plan amendment, docket number 2025-14DP. Based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed general development plan amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Further, I also find that there have been major changes of an economic, physical, and social nature within the area of the property in question, and I request that the findings of fact and recommendation include a summary of the evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Starks?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volkert?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren?
Yes, sir. The motion is approved and is a planning commission recommendation forward to the Bowling Green City Commission.
Final action because it's an amendment.
Oh, excuse me, I went to the wrong one. Planning Commission final action. I was going to number 3. 2025-01 RWC, Dr. Omkar Bhatt has filed an application to close the roughly 0.28 acres unimproved 50-foot right-of-way located between 1418 and 1422 Mount Elk Circle. Jenny?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had we did not have a pre-application meeting, sorry. Script got off. Here is the concept for the right-of-way closing. And then here's an aerial shot of the property. We have this information. Current zoning is ag. It's not in your staff report. Existing land use is single-family residential. And then some photos, and then back to the concept. The applicant has filed an application to close approximately 12,042 square feet of unimproved right-of-way located between 1418 and 1422 Mount Air Circle. Looking down, about midway down the page, the proposal does comply with the required criteria assessed in the review process, and staff has included a condition regarding plat consolidation, and we can look over to that on page 2 of your staff report. The condition or suggested condition of approval reads, a plat consolidating the closed right-of-way with the adjacent properties must be recorded at the Warren County Courthouse within 120 days of final approval of the right-of-way closure by the Bowling Green City Commission. And with that, staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenny. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has something you'd like to add or opposition to this request or a representative? Mr. Adams, anything you want to add?
I'm here to represent Dr. Bott.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Adams, appreciate you being here tonight. Commissioners will call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the right-of-way closing docket number 2025-01 RWC with the conditions as listed in the staff report. My motion is based on the findings of fact presented by the staff report and the testimony presented in this public hearing that the right-of-way is in compliance with section 3.16 of the Warren County zoning ordinance.
Second.
Commissioner Volkert?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale?
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren?
Yes, sir. The motion is approved. Planning Commission recommended forward to the Bowling Green City Commission. Our next item tonight is 2025-35ZBG Jolyn Properties LLC, care of Karen Ramsey, has filed an application to rezone .42 acres located 12012 Nam Drive from RS1A Single Family Residential to RS1D Single Family Residential with a general development plan. Jenny?
Thank you, Chair Warren. We had a pre-application meeting for the property on the corner of Temple Way and Nam Drive on April the 3rd of this year. Current zoning of the property is RS1A. Current land use is single family residential and vacant. And then proposed zoning, and then current future land use designation is moderate density residential. Here are some photos of the existing home located on the property. And we can go back to those for reference if needed. And then here is the zone change request or concept for you all. The applicant is proposing to rezone the property from RS1A to RS1D in order to reconfigure the current property boundary for a smaller building lot. And this should look familiar to you all. The Planning Commission did approve a future land use map amendment last month for this property. Looking down to the bottom of page 1, the proposal does comply with a majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. And so staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have.
Thank you, Jenny. Commissioners, any questions for staff? All right, is the applicant here? Anything you'd like to add? Thank you very much. Hearing none, would call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment.
Oh, excuse me, is there any, late day, any opposition to this request? All right, thank you. Rachel.
I make the motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with and conditioned upon the general development plan docket number 2025-35 ZBG based on the testimonies and documents presented at the public hearing. The proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, I request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Volker?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Drain?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks?
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale?
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren?
Yes, sir. Planning Commission, final action in 21 days unless a request is made to the legislative body to hear the item. Next item tonight is 2025-36 ZBG, Bharat Omkar Inn and Prana Revocable Trust, care of Dr. Omkar Bhatt, has filed an application to zone 2.15 acres located at 1418 Mount Air Circle from Ag to RE Residential State with the General Development Plan. Amy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting on July 9th for the property that you mentioned, and that is highlighted in red. Current zoning is agriculture. Current land use is single-family residential, and the future land use is low-density residential. We do have some photos here of the property. And then here is the exhibit, the rezoning exhibit for your reference. And then looking down at the, again, the applicants are proposing to rezone the property from Ag to RE in order to subdivide the property for one additional building lot. And looking at the bottom of your page, the staff recommendation is approval, pending public hearing testimony and discussion of the following. And the proposal does comply with majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. That's all we have for a staff report. Happy to answer any question.
Thank you, Amy. Commissioners, any questions for this request?
I guess my only question would be the 80% brick or stone.
On there, building materials.
I mean, I don't think his thought process is 20%
Yeah, if you look under
vinyl.
the, so applicants are proposing complementary building materials in the DPC number 3 to the surrounding area. I know some of Mount Air, there is a lot of mixed building materials out there. I think different portions were built at different times.
Sure.
But I think after taking a look at as a whole, they were complementary building materials for
Okay.
that. I'm not sure if Mr. Adams has anything to add to what those building materials would be if Mr. Bott's not here, but on that.
So, in Mount Air, this almost seems like a ridiculous question, but the DPC seems to leave open the opportunity for vinyl. I have no doubt that that is not his intent here. So could we clarify that, or maybe staff's going to help me here?
Well,
It does say,
it does specifically say in DPC 3 that fiber cement siding or vinyl are permitted as accent materials.
It does say
But-
vinyl
yeah,
is
but-
permitted?
But the 80%, so could 20% of it be vinyl?
My reading of that says yes.
Yes.
And so,
That would be the only thing I would like to close off is we just say 100% stone or brick or other.
cementitious
Modern
material.
masonry
Yeah.
materials.
Right.
So the difficult question is to turn to Jim Adams and say, do you have the authority from Dr. and Dr. Watt to modify these development plan conditions? Yes.
Okay.
So Jim, would you come to the microphone, please? Jim,
Would you come to the microphone, please?
if you'd state your name and address, please, sir.
James Adams, Landmark
Address.
Engineering. 1537 Highland Way, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Mr. Adams, swear to tell the truth.
I swear to tell the truth.
You've heard what Mr. Moore asked you.
So we would change 80% to 100%
Yes.
in DPC number 3,
Three.
so that the requirement will become that any new house built on the property will be 100% brick or stone.
My only question to that is, all houses out there are trim and stuff that has a little bit of hardy board or that's why it was the 80/20.
Hardy
is
board,
because
Hardy
we could
board
put-
is
we
a
could put in
cementitious
hardy board as a
material.
fine.
Concrete
I
type
think we just
siding.
want the vinyl in the soffits and in the
Yes,
trim.
the soffits and stuff like that. That's the only thing that we were thinking about it being just like every other house out there.
Absolutely. So
But
there's
That's where the 80/20 came in.
That's all right. There's an ending to what Hamp just stated, and the last part of that sentence is or other cementitious material,
moderate.
and hardy is a cementitious material
Okay.
already. So the only thing we're looking to exclude here is vinyl. And so the others, brick or other masonry materials,
Okay.
it includes
Not
that.
There
vinyl
was
as a
no
soffit.
intent for ever to be a vinyl house.
Sure,
All
sorry,
right.
but that just cleans it up.
Yeah, we just want to
Yeah.
clean it up there.
Right.
Okay. Let's
As
do
long
that.
as we can still do the soffits and the trim.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can still do vinyl soffits.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
still
It says,
have metal
Vinyl are
fascia,
permitted
just
as
like all the
accent-
other homes.
Accent materials, but so I think Hamp reword that for just Mr. Adams.
So DPC number 3 will now read, any new residence will have an exterior comprised of 100% brick, stone, or modern masonry cementitious material
Material.
Correct.
with a brick or stone foundation. And then vinyl is permitted for trim material.
Yeah. And in soffits.
Trim and the soffit.
Trim materials.
Okay.
That works, absolutely.
And that works, you agree to that on behalf of the
Yes, sir.
board?
Okay. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. All right. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? All right. Hearing none, commissioners will call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with and conditioned upon the general development plan, docket number 2025-36ZBG. Based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, I request that this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volkert,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved. Planning Commission final action in 21 days unless a request is made to the legislative body to hear the item. Our next item tonight is 2025-37Z County RR Acquisitions LLC, care of Christy Adkins, has filed an application for zone 3.12 acres located at 145 Detour Road from Ag to RR Rural Residential an RE residential estate with the general development plan. Amy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting on July 9th for the property that you mentioned, highlighted in red. Current zoning is agriculture. Current land use is single-family residential. And the future land use is rural density residential. Here are some property photos. And then the rezoning exhibit. And again, the applicants are proposing to rezone from agriculture to RR and RE in order to subdivide the property into 2 lots. The existing home is proposed to remain. Looking down at the bottom of the page, the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. Therefore, staff recommendation is approval pending public hearing testimony and any discussion. That's all we have for our staff report.
Thank you, Amy. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
Does the split-face block, is that compatible with the area on the foundation?
Building materials, 55% of homes within 1,000 feet have block foundations, with the remaining foundations a mix of block, slab, and post and pier.
So when we say block, we're saying that they're exposed CMU block with no covering on them? Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess split-face block is compatible there then?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Commissioners, any other questions for staff? All right. Is there the applicant here or anything you'd like to add?
I'm here.
Anything you'd like to add? Okay, that's fine.
I thought my surveyor was supposed to be here to represent me today, but,
That's okay.
You're good.
oh, okay.
I can't represent you, you have to represent yourself.
No.
Is there anything you'd like to add? It's no problem if you'd like to add anything.
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine.
It's pretty cut and dry. If you have any questions for me, that's fine.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Atkins. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has opposition to this or questions regarding this request? All right, hearing none, would commissioners would call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with and conditioned upon the general development plan, docket number 2025-37Z County. Based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, I request that this motion include the summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Drain,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volkert,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Planning Commission, final action in 21 days unless a request is made for a legislative body to hear the item. Mr. Peterson, anything else tonight? Mr. Story, appreciate you being here tonight. And we will see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, staff, for all you do. Mr. Moore, thank you for all you do. And we'll see everybody in a couple of weeks.
Get that